Alright. Sheesh. It's been hard to get in front of the camera. When you're working, you're dealing with dogs, doctor's appointments, and all that kind of stuff. Super, super busy. But I ain't dropped the video in about a week. So I got a topic that serve as a bit of an aid to anybody who's considering getting into breeding. So it's about pretty much 5 major things to consider before you decide to buy a bully and get into breeding. So the first thing is you have to have a love for the breed. You have to have a love for dogs, period. Because it's gonna be days that you can't stand your dog. I ain't gonna say like, oh, nah, matter of fact, you had days you wanna get rid of your dogs. You had days you wanna sell them all. You had days that you buying dog food, vet products, medication, etc., grooming products. If you're getting into it for money, you definitely will get to a point where you're just like, nah, I'm not seeing a quick enough return on investment. This is just not for me. I don't love dogs. I like them, I can tolerate them, but I don't love dogs, so this ain't for me. That happens in a lot of situations. A lot of people get into the dogs just thinking they can make a quick turnaround. Buy a male, think he's gonna hit a certain age, and then he's gonna stud out 2,500 every single week. It rarely happens. So yeah, make sure you absolutely love dogs, love bullies, etc., etc. The whole process, make sure you love it. And that will lead me to the second major thing that you want to have before you get into building a kennel or a breeding program. And that is support. Support. And I don't mean like, hold on. When I say have support, I don't mean have a big following of people who's so quick to just jump on your product. What I mean is make sure your village or community or whatever like dogs too, and make sure they down with it. And I know a lot of men might say, I call the shots, I wear the pants. But at the same time, unless you're ready to put these dogs over your partners or roommate or whoever it is that you intend to have these dogs constantly around, and make sure they can tolerate them too, I would say. Because they're noisy, they can be destructive. Not groomed, they can bleed hair a lot, they can drool a lot. There's just a lot of things about a dog that can, if the people around you don't love dogs, it can mess up the whole flow. Dogs pick up on it if they are not like, they tend to be a little skittish, they tend to be a little shy. So yeah, so just make sure if that's your girlfriend, or that's my situation. I got my girlfriend and she helps me out all the time. If I have to stay a couple hours late at work, I'm able to text her, hit her up, hey, can you take this dog out? Can you feed this dog, give this dog water, etc., etc. She also helps clean out the cage while I'm there, while I'm at work, and all that kind of stuff. You also want support from if you have a kennel partner, make sure he or she's someone who likes dogs. Not someone who's just trying to be there to have a business eye or a business ear or a business voice. Just make sure whoever you share this space of dogs with, because most people even if you get into dogs and it's just you initially, take my situation into account. Or I got any dogs, if it's just me. I don't have any kids, I didn't have any partner at the time. So by the time I did meet a partner, it was pretty much an understanding that, hey, I like dogs, I keep a few of them around me. So yeah, it was just pretty much an understanding from the jump on that one. So yeah, have support. Uh, the third thing, the third most important thing I feel like you have to have, which is some people might put this number two, but yeah, it's very very important that you have space. Um, this is my second go around, but my first go around, I did not have space. Um, Granted, I had my parents' yard, but they stayed 3 hours away. So realistically, I did not have space. I thought I had space because I just said, hey, they stay in Rocky Mount. I come and get them from time to time, or I pick this one up, I'll drop this one off, or I go there, I spend the weekend tending to this one or that one. Um, that pretty much took a toll on my time, my car, ultimately my pockets, because you got to keep up with maintenance of the car. You have to spend gas and all that kind of stuff. Just time away. Because I stay in Charlotte, North Carolina. My parents were staying in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And granted, I did get to knock a litter out over there. I did get to bring a couple of dogs, and I did get to learn a lot. But it all goes back to space. If you don't have the space that's yours, you can't really run a program. Like right now, I don't have any space. Um, that's why I say, hey, this is a step-by-step build. You're gonna basically be here with me from getting space from all the way to my girl going to heat, the stud, the whole 9 yards. But the most important one is, like I said, space that I'm lacking right now. I would say that's probably the biggest thing that I'm lacking right now. Granted, lease ends in a couple months. I plan to go somewhere I can at least, grow in space. I'm not sure if I'm gonna knock my first litter out at that property or at the next space that I end up moving to, but I would like to. Um, so yeah, have space. Make sure you have space. Um, you really need a backyard. If you want to do a full breeding program, I would say you need at least about half an acre to make that pretty much shape. You're gonna need buildings. You're gonna need individual kennels and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, space. That would be like the third biggest thing. Um, Number four. This is another one that I kind of missed out on. Make sure you do your research. Super, super important. And doing your research falls directly in line with having a vision, in my opinion. So do your research, have a vision. I had a problem. I came into the bully space just liking dogs. I didn't. I thought pockets was cool. I thought standards were cool. I thought XLs was cool. I thought micros, exotics, extremes, classics. I thought all of that was cool. I had absolutely no issue owning either one. I said to myself, I'm just gonna get a pretty prospect of either of the blood, and I'm just gonna slowly breed into whatever direction I want to breed in. Um, Granted, that was me getting in, not knowing anything, not talking to anybody. Consistency matters. However you want to breed, whatever direction you want to breed, have that already in mind, and make sure the dog that you first buy is already consistently bred in that direction. I had the issue. My first issue was like I said, I didn't have a vision. I thought they were all cool. Now I know what I like. I like more terrier style pockets, true pockets, 15 inches, 15 to 16 inches. No taller. I want them very proportionate. I want them more terrier, very few bulldog traits. Um, I understand bulldog is heavy in the breed, so it definitely will have some bulldog attributes to it. But yeah, I had to pretty much I had to sit back and do research this second go around, because the first go around, like I said, uh, I bought a standard. I got her, and I was like, I want her to be a little smaller, a little less girthier. I want her to be able to do this, do that. So, in her pedigree, she was already bred towards the XL direction. So, uh, that ultimately led up to me end up not having to sell it, but I ultimately starting over. A lot of dogs I would not have bought if I just sat back, took 3 months to a year to do the research, and then wait for the actual dog that matches my criteria to exact T come up. Um, so yeah, that was another one. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you have your preference before even hitting up a breeder. You can follow bully pages. You can there's local breeders. Sometimes you'll see one. But make sure you have an example of the ideal dog that you want. Um, and there's one more. Have money. That's right. I forgot all about that one. Have money. That's some again we put that as the number one most important thing to have. Um, I just feel like you got to start somewhere, and there's no telling how much that dream prospect dog that you want will cost. I've paid as little as 2,500 or 2,000 for bullies. I paid as much as 5,000 for bullies. I paid 5,000 on two separate occasions actually. Well, scratch that. The lab kennel as a whole, my family has spent. Well, my brother spent 5K on a bully, and I've spent 5K on a single bully before. Um, I've also spent another 3K on one. I've also spent another 2K on one. Um, my parents spent 2,500 on one. Um, I would say make sure you got about $10,000 before you get into breeding. Um, I know me personally, I was leaving a job that I spent about 5 years at. So I just cleared my 401k out, and I had I can't remember the exact amount, but it was somewhere between 8 and 10,000 that I was able to kind of start with. Um, Granted, I did not spend my money right. That leads all back to research. I did not do any research. I just jumped in, ready to buy the first available bully I could. I don't regret it because I've learned a whole lot that it probably would have took some people 10+ years to learn. I think I really felt out of it with the money that I spent. Every loss came a lesson. Every single loss that I took financially turned into a lesson that I actually was able to learn from. So yeah, that's that. Make sure you have money. Um, your first bully might cost from anywhere between 1,500 to 5,000. Um, I've seen them go higher. I know me personally, I would not. I ain't say never, but I just don't see me spending over 5K for a bull, um, for a pup. Now, if you're gonna buy a full-grown dog that matches your criteria to a T and has had a litter, you're looking at spending anywhere between 5 to 7 to $10,000. Um, Granted, if you got 10,000 or if you got more than 10,000, that's probably the way I would go. If you got at least 12 to 15,000, I would just spend that 5 to 10 on the dream pup that matches all the attributes that you want to start your program around, and just go ahead and get that. Go ahead and spend that buck. Um, so yeah, those are the 5 main things. Make sure you love the breed. Make sure you have support. Make sure you have space. Make sure you do your research, and make sure you have money. So you do those things, I feel like they're all everything else fall in line. Um, yeah. So if you like the video, like, subscribe, share. Uh, Staton's Luv-A-Bull Kennel. It's Caleb speaking and logging off.